Okay, recording. Hi, guys. I have been out and about looking, and I'm glad I have because I found some amazing things. I'm going to see if I can screen share with you here. You may or may not know that Israel is a lot like the US, that it is more advanced in the South. Okay, you can in the northern U.S. You don't expect the lettuce and stuff like that to be out nearly when you would expect the lettuce to be out on the other end. So in the South, in Florida, for instance, when I was down there, you could almost get a year-round down around the Panama City Beach. You could almost get a year-round growing season. But further north you went, you would get colder, and your seasons would not be as easy to grow. And so it's the same here. No, you couldn't. No, I'm double tasking, so I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, in the north, you couldn't get your season to grow lettuce as early as you could in the south, or for as long as that mattered. The seasons were much shorter. It's kind of that same way here. So I'm going to show you this, and these trees I look at every year. They are my go-to trees. They are one of the things that we're told, I was trained by someone to look at or to look for to know when the season was changing. All right, here we go. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I've got to come up here and I've got to, where do I do it? Share right here. I'm going to share here. Okay, it's waiting. Wonder why it's not. Well, maybe I have to put that up on my screen. Let's see. Let me see what I have to do. Stop sharing. Share screen. It shows it. Yep, there it is. Okay, now maybe we can do it. I hope you can see that. I think you can. That's a fig. That's one of the first things we're told we need to look for. I have 3 go-to trees in the village here. That's a young fig. And all 3 of my go-tos were making figs. Let me go up here. There's some more figs. Over here, more figs. I check these trees every year. There's more figs. And actually, I have to tell you the truth again. I was shocked at how big these guys were already. Okay. I'm going to go on the record and say the season feels like it's in a hurry. Okay. I'm going to go on the record and say that because for us today, it still feels like we're in the deep, dormant, wet, rainy season of Israel. But the land is telling me something different. So I've been taking some hits from critics about, not knowing what I'm doing. So I went to my local not olive orchard, my local almond orchard. I'm looking for my right picture here. It shows that I looked at the whole orchard. Okay, here you can see there's an orchard. See, there's an orchard behind me. And lo and behold, like we were talking about, the south, I saw the almond blooms. I heard about the almond blooms in Jerusalem from 2 of my friends. I saw them on the way home. I saw them popping out, going through Tel Aviv. But we've got almonds that are blooming. And look right here. All of these are almond blooms, and they're just on the cusp of exploding. Let me pull up some more. You see these? They're white. I mean, the petals of them are showing. And if we keep looking through here, there's some more. Let's say one, I think. Let me go over here. There's some more. See, he's coming out. Got a lot of friends waiting to open up with him. And I could not get back because we're so muddy. Like I said, we're still so wet. That's not very clear. That's one. We're still so wet that I could not get back very far into this almond orchard. So I had to do a long shot. On the other side, on the far side of where you pull in at. So this is way away from the road. If we look, there's another bloom right there. I'm looking for that picture. Where's that one picture? Hang on. Wonder, did I download them all? There it is. If you look through those trees on the other side, where these are orange trees back in here on the back side of this almond section, way over there against, in the middle really of the area where the oranges and the almonds are planted, because that's on the back where they come together, and the roads on this side, okay, there are quite a few of them in bloom back in there. So why am I showing you this? Okay. My critics asked me about my photos of the barley in Ra'im. They were very, very critical. They said, did you find the 7 signs that accompany these barleys? Because I was told I didn't. Basically, I was accused of taking pictures of barley in hot zones. And I didn't answer. I'm not going to get into any verbal gymnastics with anybody. It's not my job. My job is to tell you what I see and tell you what I believe so you can use it. If you ask me something, I'll tell you. But my job is to report to you what I believe and tell you how I understand it and tell you how I apply it so that you can make your own decision. The 7, and I don't know where she gets 7, because the person she's talking about, the person that taught me the barley, the 7 that she mentions is really 8. So let's start. We know that the anemonies come out a month before the barley is Abib. We know at the same time the almonds, they start blooming a month before the barley is Abib. We know that the figs are going to start putting on their fruit, which actually, here's a piece of information for you don't know. A fig is not a fruit. A fig is an inverted bloom of the fig tree. It's a very interesting spiritual picture there anyway. So we've got 3 already so far, got 3, right? And we've got them in the north and the south now. So the next thing that of the magic 7 that I think really is 8 is that we need the Egyptian storks to come in, the swallows and the cranes to come in, migratory from out of Egypt on their way to Europe. They nest here in Israel. They use the Hula Valley, and it's kind of really a privilege. People fly in from all over the world to see this stuff. And because I live on the Kinneret, and they start at the Hula Valley, and they fly south above the Kinneret, going towards going up the Jordan Valley Rift to the fish hatcheries there on this side of Bet Shean. I get to see them move back and forth every day and make their beautiful displays and their calls, and it's really gorgeous. So she wanted to know about, I'm sure, those 1, 2, 3 birds. Okay. And then the other 2 things that I was told we look for is we look for the lambs. Had the lambs been born? We need a lamb for Passover. And if the grapes budding? Are the grapes blooming? By the way, I don't know if I said this to you before, when I went down to Ra'im, the grape orchards I went by, the outdoor ones, not the ones under canopy, 50% of them, I would say maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more than 50% of them had been pruned. So they're expecting something. So um, we have three of what we need as a sign that we're approaching the Abib barley. Now, in my understanding of living here, these things do happen, very much so. But for me, on the land of Israel, seeing the season come and go every year now, I kind of have added things that I personally look for along the way. And I'm seeing those things too. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what they are, it's not important. But what I'm going to tell you is this is the 15th, if I remember right. This is the 15th. Let me get my paper. Never trust your memory when you get to be my age. We saw new moon. I don't have it on this page, but I do have it here. Hang on, let me get it for you. I'm going to shrink this. I can't shrink that, so sorry. I'm going to move that. I'm going to close my photos. Give me just a second. I just saw that file I put on my desktop. Now, where did it go? Here it is. Let me get down here. We saw the new moon January 26th. So that was Sunday. So that means today's the full moon. That means we have 1 month to Pesach. That means we have it's going to be tight. We've got almonds blooming, we've got figs, and we've got anemones. Dead on. And in the South, it's a little bit earlier, okay? So in the South, they're ahead of us. We know that those anemones that were up on January 5, okay? So we know that. I don't know anything about the almond blooms down there at that time, but I do know that it had anemones on the 5th, those red poppies, okay. But here it is, a 5th of January, the Gregorian date, which was earlier in the week, okay. Wasn't quite at the 2-week mark, but here we are at the 2-week mark, even in the North. And now we've got the almonds and we've got the what did I say? The figs, and we've got the anemones from Tel Aviv South. We don't have the anemones in the North yet. And a matter of fact, the South is so far ahead of us. I'm not even seeing oats out of the boot. I'm not even seeing oats in head yet. Anyway, I'm just saying all of that to say that I have critics for reasons known to them more than me. And I just want you to know that I'm doing my best, and I'm not doing my best even for you. I'm doing my best for Elohim. I don't care what anybody says. The last thing I want to do is discredit his name. So I wanted to bring to you another sign that we're going forward into the turn of the year. Will we make it for Wave Sheaf next month? I'm telling you, it's going to be close and tight. And I'm telling you what I felt when I saw not only the anemones, but the mustard in bloom, and the arugula in bloom, and barley out of the boot, and oats out of the boot. All I can tell you is it felt like the earth is in a hurry. I'm telling you that again now with these figs. Same figs I look at every year, okay? It feels like the earth is in a hurry. I can't tell you. Don't ask me. I can't tell you if we're going to be able to have Pesach next month. I can tell you it is a cliffhanger. It is a nail biter. It is going to be, if we do, we're going to have another one of those years that I call it's like sit down, shut up, and hang on because we're going in for a hard, fast turn. And that's what the new year does. It doesn't, you don't end a new year, you turn into a new year. So we may, I mean, I can't say anymore that it's not possible. I'm looking at figs on the tree. They're big. They're big. That was shocking. They're big. Everything is shocking me this year. And I also want to go on the record and say something else, that Ryan Junction and the Ryan kibbutz, there was plenty of oats, but barley was not as thick as it had been there before. Okay, it wasn't as thick. It wasn't that it wasn't there. It was that it wasn't as thick. And I really think that that's one of the reasons that my accusers were so nasty, is because they felt like I had picked barley on top of a rock that would grow up to, like a hothouse effect, or it is an unusual year. I've only been doing it a couple of years, but it's a very unusual year. And to me, it almost looked like maybe that Raim had actually had too much rain and too short of a time. And so everything was kind of puny looking. Maybe, the barley, the oats were yellow, not because they were close to dropping, but because they had too much rain in too short of a period of time. So that's all I know. I'm trying to keep it real, and I'm trying to be as transparent as I can, and I'm trying to honor the God I serve. And the rest of them, they can just do what they're going to do. But I'm not going to fight them. I'll sit back and be respectful to the God I serve, and I will let him worry about how this washes out. And I'm going to just keep doing my best job. So that's it for now. And we've got figs. We've got three of the four, seven, or three of the seven sacred signs. But there's more than seven. There's a lot of signs that the year's progressing towards the new year. But those are good signs. Those are good signs. Those are pretty reliable. And we have three of the seven or eight, whichever number you like. Thanks for watching.